I would take the use of force very seriously. You're going to live in a peaceful world. If we don't stop extending our troops all around the world in nation-building missions, then we're going to have a serious problem coming down the road. My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
Nearly 461,000 men, women, and children died between 2003 and 2011 in Iraq.
While Iraq has dominated the headlines, the less publicized fight in Afghanistan has intensified. In June, 28 were killed in action, the deadliest month for U.S. troops since the 2001 invasion.
I will promise you this, that if we have not gotten our troops out by the time I am president, it is the first thing I will do. I will get our troops home. We will bring an end to this war.
I'm going to bring this war to a close. That's why we can get our troops out, our combat troops out within 16 months.
I will end this war.
President Obama is sending more American troops to Iraq.
Out of the war on terror, and President Obama making a major announcement about sending more troops to Syria.
Obama says he is ready to help allies enforce a no-fly zone over Libya.
Time magazine says an American drone strike hit a wedding convoy yesterday in Yemen.
By one count, President Obama has already used unmanned CIA drones to strike more than 300 suspected terrorist targets, even more than his predecessor.
Now, in a big policy U-turn, U.S. President Barack Obama says American troops will remain in Afghanistan.
Under my administration, we had no war in the Middle East. We had peace in the Middle East. Can you believe that? My personality is what kept us out of war. You know, we had no wars. 4 years, we had no wars.
President Trump ordering strikes on Syria.
American, British, and French warships and planes launching dozens of missiles.
A senior administration official telling CNN that Mr. Trump has told his national security team that he's willing to keep American troops in the war-torn nation for now.
We've secured the oil, and therefore a small number of U.S. troops will remain in the area where they have the oil. And we're going to be protecting it. And we'll be deciding what we're going to do with it.
President Donald Trump, in a CBS interview aired Sunday, said that despite his criticism of the decision to invade Iraq,
one of the greatest mistakes that we've ever made,
it was important to keep a U.S. military presence there so that Washington can keep a close eye on Iran.
The announcement late today from President Trump. The warship USS Boxer took down an Iranian drone in the Strait of Hormuz.
Tonight, President Trump is defending his decision to kill Iran's top general, Qasem Soleimani.
The U.S. has carried out over 100 strikes in Somalia since 2017.
President Trump is giving the CIA significantly more authority in carrying out drone strikes.
Trump administration officials signaled as early as August their support for providing defensive lethal weapons to Ukraine.
He was the best president ever for Israel and for the Jewish people by far. Nobody was close. I gave them Golan Heights. I gave them the Abraham Accords. I recognized the capital of Israel and opened the embassy in Jerusalem. And most importantly of all, I terminated the Iran nuclear deal, which was the worst deal ever made in the history of Israel, in the history of the Middle East. I was there 4 years, gave them billions and billions of dollars. I was the best friend Israel ever had.
It's long past time we end the forever wars, which have cost us untold blood and treasure.
These are members of the Florida National Guard and the 2nd Battalion, 24th Infantry. We were there when they deployed from Sanford last month. While they headed to the Middle East, these photos show some of the other Florida Guard members recently deployed to Ukraine. They're working with 4 Armed Forces Ukraine brigades to improve their combat and military systems operation skills.
The president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, has thanked Joe Biden and the US Congress for a new military aid package, which is worth more than $8 billion.
The president defending his expected Friday request to Congress, an unprecedented estimated $105 billion in security funding for Israel and Ukraine.
The U.S. has announced American troops are now headed to Israel along with a new missile system.
NATO reports of a second attack on a U.S. military base in Syria.
U.S. President Joe Biden has ordered airstrikes in Syria.
U.S. forces say rockets targeted an Iraqi military base that hosts American troops.
Now, U.S. President Joe Biden has approved the Pentagon's request to redeploy American troops to Somalia.